In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to add your team lineup into the video, how to apply tags to individual players, and also explain a couple special features we've invented that take into account the realities of soccer. So let's jump right into this. When you first come into the system, you'll notice that we have a button here called Unknown. And the reason we have this button is because sometimes you're simply not going to know who made the play. When that happens, now you can just apply that tag to the unknown person instead of just guessing at who you should apply it to. Now, when the default button is checked, that means that the tag will be applied without you clicking on the unknown button. This is a big time saver, especially when you're applying tags to the opposing team and you haven't loaded their lineup. This also comes in handy for pass connected and pass lost because you may not necessarily want to apply each pass to each player and you simply want to learn your pass ratio at a team level. Now let me show you how I upload the lineup and how I use the unknown button in the default condition and not in the default condition. Now adding my team into this video is very simple. Just click on the lineup button, I'll select home or opposing, and then I'll choose my team. And here you'll notice that all the players are selected by default. If you like, you can deselect an individual player. You can also change their position for this individual game. And we'll just add these players into my lineup. And now you'll notice that we no longer have the default button checked. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to check the default button again so you can see what each condition does. When I'm in the default condition, that means the system will automatically apply the tag to the unknown player. Watch how this happens. I'm going to move my playhead, and now I'm going to put the goal tag into my timeline. Now you can see that the tag was applied to the timeline without pressing any additional buttons because it was already set to default. Now what I'm going to do is remove the default. I'm going to move my playhead a little bit, and now I'll come back and add a tag. Shot on goal, but I didn't know who shot it, so I'm going to click on the unknown button. Now again, you see it has the same effect. It puts a little U inside the tag instead of the player's number, and it applies the tag onto the timeline. But this time I had to actually click on the unknown button to make the tag apply. Now the third condition is where we actually apply a tag to a specific player. So again, I'm going to move my timeline. I'll click on the cross tag, and then I'll click on number 9, and you see that the tag is applied to the timeline, putting their number in it, and keeping track of all this for your charts, your graphs, and the ability to filter your playback so you can jump from point to point while watching the video. Now as I mentioned, it's very common not to load the opposing team, and in that case, you'll just keep this on default. But if you choose to, you can actually load the opposing lineup into your game. All you have to do is click on lineup, opposing, put in the team name, and now you can add in the player number, the player name, and their position. To add the next player, just simply click the plus button, and you can keep adding more players. When you're done, add the selected players to the lineup, and now you'll be able to keep the statistical data for the opposing team as well as your team. That looks easy, doesn't it? And remember, your players are going to believe what they see, so if you're not using Soccer Pro to give your players the advantage they deserve, join today. It's free to join, free to use, so you have nothing to lose except more games to the competitors that are already using Soccer Pro to develop their players into smarter, happier players that win more games and have more fun.